Hello, hi, good morning, good evening, good night. In this video, I'm gonna list the top 10 tracks that need to be remade which have never been remade, but there's some rules. Pause to read. Without further ado, let's go to number 10. Alright, so yes, I put Moonview Highway at number 10, so basically this is a city, but more unique. So yeah, it's basically just driving, but you know what else is also driving? Driving into that Discord invite. Was that smooth? Okay, anyways, let's actually continue, but please join the Discord. Now hardcore Wii fans are cringing, because I just said this is road. So let me explain. This first part is like Shroom Ridge. We're on a mountain driving to this bridge, and this bridge actually goes to the city. Now here there are lots of cars and speed ramps, so it's like two options. Either dodge the cars, or go as fast as you can to risk going in the cars. Now this city is pretty decorated, like I'd probably go there. Then after you leave the city, and that's a lap. Now the reason why this is at number 10 is because the map is kind of underwhelming. Like there's like 3 turns, and it's mostly straight. Although the speed ramps saved this course, there could have been more to this course. Not to say it's bad, and the music is also really good. Alright, let's go to numero 9. To be honest, this is one of if not the most underrated track on Super Circuit. So this track is basically a beach level, which might make you think oh got another beach level. This is the 953rd one, but this is the most unique. This got a remake in tour which I will talk more about later. So there are lots of islands connected by bridges. And that background is amazing, with the sunset and the big cheep cheep. This track is amazing. So if this is amazing, then why am I putting it at number 9? Well, the other tracks after this are somehow even greater. Now let's talk about this track. So we start off on an island, then immediately go on some bridges. Then after, we go on this really big island with lots of crabs. Then we go on this bridge section with lots of turns, and that's it. Plus there's also this extremely hard shortcut. Time for the tour version. So sadly there isn't that big island, but everything else is good. My other complaint is that the amount of trees make this feel like a jungle track, which there are a lot of them. Anyways, now let's drive to number 8. This music is amazing, like literally probably the best in this whole ranking. Anyways, before I get into the amazing music too much, I have to talk about the track. I've not played Mario Kart Wii, but this looks a bit too easy for a special cup. It looks more of a Star Cup finale. So if it isn't obvious enough, this is a desert, Yoshi's Desert. Hey, that sounds familiar. Anyways, we start off here with this big area. Then we go in this desert hills area with a bridge with water. Even though it's a desert. Now we get to the big Sphinx Yoshi, and go in the most iconic area, the cave. In here there are lots of half pipes and some sand to avoid plus some pokies. And then after that's a lap. Now I'm pretty sad that this isn't remade yet since it's an amazing track. However, I have mixed opinions on the next track on this list. Now let's jump to numero 7. Yeah, this is the depressing music track. Now this may seem controversial, but the thing is, this track has more possibilities than Dry Dry Ruins. So besides the basically opposite Dry Dry Ruins music, let's talk about this track. Now this track looks special cup worthy, at least difficulty wise it is. First after these turns we immediately go right next to this pretty tight area, which is easy to fall off from. Then we go on this area where you can either go on the slow and safe water, or the hard but fast ice. Then last after all that, we go in this pretty basic water area with lots of speed ramp. Now let's go in the infinitely better tour version. So there isn't that many changes besides these cool penguins, no pun intended, on this area. Anyways, pretty underwhelming track which definitely could have more potential. Anyways, now let's fall to number 6. This is a desert, Yoshi's Desert. Hey, that sounds familiar. Alright, so I won't cover this track's layout cause it's kinda bland. So if it's bland, then why is it higher than Dry Dry Ruins? Well, imagine a 3D version of this track. What if this was an underwater shortcut, and here you actually go inside of a pyramid? This would easily make this more unique. So yeah, besides the Yoshi Sphinx there's nothing to this track. But just thinking about a pyramid here, a 3D version, and this water shortcut makes me happy. Plus this track was dated for tour, so just letting you know I got high expectations. Anyways, it's number 5 time. Now that we were in the top 5, before we were in the or okay tier. But now we've moved to the amazing tier. And you want to know the perfect track to start us off with that? Well, just look. Yeah, if you answered Wario Shipyard, you'd be correct.
No, it's Wario Galleon.
Oh my god, why in the middle of my videos?
No, say it right now.
LIDC, bye. Anyways, this track was originally gonna be number 9 on this list, but now I realized how amazing this is. So in this track, you explore ships while underwater, perfectly using the underwater physics for MK7. Now let's talk about this track. First of all, this music is probably the second best on this list. Now we take a turn and immediately go underwater, no time to waste. Then we take some tricks and go into this fishbone, I forgot what it's called. Then we go on this crazy section with lots of fish bones and a pipe. Now we go on the best part. Now here we go on this strange sunken ship, which is pretty hard on the MK7 version. Then we take a glider, one last turn plus a shortcut, and that's done. Now this track perfectly represents split paths, but you want to know a track which does that even better? Well, this one perfectly explains it. To be honest, I'm surprised this track hasn't been remade. Out of all the tracks in Double Dash, this is one of the most unique. Now I'm not covering this track's layout because it's too complicated. If I did this would cover half of the video. Anyways, I remember one time when I thought of a track where some racers go other directions, and this perfectly does it. And this music is amazing. Now I don't know what else to say about this track except it's amazing. But there are still 3 other amazing tracks on this list, and the next one is this. To be honest, it would be a crime if this wasn't on the list. Now I won't go over the crazy shortcuts in this track. That maybe could be for another time. But instead, how Nintendo isn't focusing on this track? Like, come on, you just had to bring Toad Circuit for the BCP and not this. Anyways, on this track the main focus is, well, obviously the factory. But also these strange speed things. Depending on its direction, it'll either slow or speed you up. Now the music perfectly captures this track as a factory. And then all of a sudden, you get to that last part, with the construction and lots of speed ramps. Now I didn't know a Mushroom Cup track could be this chaotic, but here we are. But hey, let's get out of the Mushroom Cup and maybe focus on a more mellow track for number 2. Yeah, so if this is at number 2 then number 1 should be pretty obvious. Anyways, this track is beautiful. Also, this is the first section track on this list, and it sure does do an amazing job with that. Now first, we take some turns with some tricks. Alright, we don't really need to talk about the first section. It's the second section which needs to be talked about. Now here we go in a cave with lots of speed ramps, and then leave. And we can see how beautiful the track is. Then we go to section 3. Now I made section to look really boring, but literally look how many shortcuts they are. Then we get to section 3. At first it looks so boring, like, well, there's a boulder. But then, you see this part, and realize how legendary this track and perhaps this game is. The sunset flashes your eyes on how beautiful this extremely cool glider is. And well, then that's done. Now although some parts may be empty, literally everything else makes up for it. But you know what? We always need a bit of chaos in our lives. And I have the perfect track for that. Also, Albert, not sorry for saying Maka woohoo. Anyways, let's go to the grand finale, number 0. Oh my god, why hasn't Nintendo brought this back yet? This is easily the best track by miles in Double Dash. Now first, this is the only to-lap track in the series besides Tour. And when you look at that map, you will 100% understand why. Now I'm definitely gonna talk about this amazing track a lot. First of all, we take a left turn and immediately go on a speed ramp, showing that this isn't any baby show. Then we take another one and go on this crazy boost ramp area, where we then go into a dome. Now in here, there is a long spiral, so you don't have any time to relax. Then after we again take some turns with some speed ramps. Now Wario is looking at you like, yeah, this is safe, go here. But it is quite the opposite. Now here we go in this insane part where you can take the speed ramp over an extremely large gap, or take the safe way around. Now after, we go on this brick area, take a turn, go on another speed ramp, and that's a lap. The chaos in this track is something that will not be beaten for a long time. And no, Baby Park does not count. Why does Wario and Waluigi get the coolest tracks? What if my channel was Wario? Anyways, this is definitely my best and longest video yet. So join my Discord, like and subscribe so I know you'll want more content like this, and go play Mario Kart.